Hey everyone, this is the Halifax Real Estate Podcast. My name is Jason Paul and I'm a licensed realtor at Keller Williams Select Realty in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm here to help you gain a better understanding of real estate in Halifax and introduce you to a wide variety of people that work in or with our industry as well. Today's guest is Virginia Ward, owner and operator of Virginia and Interiors and the lead home designer of Bowers Construction. Virginia was a full-time teacher but made the move into interior design in 2017 when she started Virginia and Interiors. Please welcome Virginia Ward. Hi, Ginny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
So I guess for the audience's sake, what do you currently do for a living?
I do interior design, so I have my own business, Virginia and Interiors, and I design anything from a new build to renovations to just home furnishings. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So when you say home furnishings, what do you mean by that?
So say you're not doing like a full renovation, but you want to refurnish a space in your room or in your house rather, then you can call me and we can, do the best layouts and design for furniture and finishes in your home.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to interior design, so if someone wants to build a house or maybe do a renovation in their home, you can come in and kind of help guide them through that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I can help guide them on different levels. There's anything from just, a meeting where we can just kind of chat about what kind of things they're looking for and just bounce ideas off of me to basically handing over the keys and letting me do all the decisions. So there are all kinds of avenues you can work with interior designers.
How many people just give you the keys?
Not many, but a lot put more trust in me than, I would like to, I'd like to think that I'm worthy of, but they don't give you the keys. They do like the final decision, but a lot of people do actually put more trust in you than you might think.
So what kind of, so right now in this market,
yes,
what kind of designs are you seeing in most of your clients?
So right now because people have been home for much too long, there has been a bit of a shift. A lot of the time there was a lot of open concept living, one big room, everybody in there. And I think once everybody realized that one big room for long periods of time wasn't going to work, we are seeing a shift from the fundamental point of the actual building into rooms now. So rooms are kind of making a comeback.
Oh.
Which is really interesting because we have been on this open concept. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of, kitchen and living room, especially where we live on the East Coast here.
Yep. Kitchen parties. Come on now.
Exactly. Kitchen parties. You got to have room for everybody. I mean, now that we're allowed having parties again, right? So 10
people.
Oh, okay. That's a party. It's more than my 4 people in my family.
Yeah.
So, so there is still that, but there's definitely this sense of space that people want to have a space to retreat to and have their own space.
Okay.
And as far as kind of palettes and stuff, we've been seeing a lot of this neutral white, very white, very washed, which is always going to be beautiful and classic.
Yeah.
But if you kind of look at, for example, like a European influence, which are always just slightly ahead of us sometimes, or they're going to more saturated hues. So warm colors and this thing called what people call granny chic. I'm not sure how many people use that, but
I'm gonna need to know what that color looks like after we're done.
Not a color, more of like a feel, but it's
even better.
Yeah, the granny chic. I know it doesn't sound hot, but it's a good look. Little antique with some modern. It's good. Yeah.
So how are people, so say someone's trying to get you to work with them for their redesign.
Yes.
Or maybe to plan out a floor plan. Mm-hmm. How does it work for you in terms of your process? Do they reach out via text, email, or do they go to your website and then you set up a casual meet?
Yeah, so I mean, there are different avenues. Sometimes people just reach out via my Instagram account and they'll just message me and say, interested in working. And then I kind of...
hold on.
Yes.
We got to plug in the Instagram account. What is it?
Oh, Virginia and Interiors.
Yeah. See, you got to plug in the account because if people hear this and they want to get a hold of you.
Yes. my handle is virginia.and.interiors.
See, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, now back to if they reach out via Instagram.
Yeah, so you can reach me there, or my website, which is virginiaandinteriors.com.
See, now you get the hang of it. We
getting there,
embrace shameless plugs all day on this podcast.
All right, well, I'll keep doing it then. I'll just keep plugging away. And then on there, there's actually a little spot where you can fill out just like some information.
Yep.
And the next step in the process is actually one that it's just kind of the way that I do it is there's a survey that I send out. And it has kind of just different questions about design to see how we are as a fit.
Yep.
Because just because I do design doesn't mean that I'm going to be the best fit for every person out there that needs a redesign. And I mean, knock on wood, so far so good. Haven't had any turnaways, but it's just nice to kind of hone in on people's design before the process even really gets started.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So you're saying the market's now going back into separate spaces.
In my humble opinion, yes. And other opinions.
That's what you're seeing.
That's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Yes.
So are you seeing people maybe revert? So maybe they purchase a open house concept home and they're trying to revert it back into it, or kind of like how is that coming across for the work you're doing right now with homes?
So I wouldn't necessarily say that people are putting up walls.
Okay.
But they're definitely kind of rethinking the way the spaces are used.
Yeah.
So they're kind of making more, if they have a big front room, they'll have more than one seating area. They'll have like a designated seating area. There's a corner area for like rest and relaxation, or they'll make one of their spare rooms into, a spare room, but also a reading room or a homework room, or as we all know, the home office, which is so popular now. So in that way, as I said, I don't think people are going to start putting walls up in their house.
Okay.
But rethinking the way that their house is used, I think is kind of the better way of putting that.
How many home offices have you done this year?
Do you know what? Because I work primarily in new builds, all new builds have a home office in them now. It's nothing that's overseen.
Yeah.
And then I've done a few. I wouldn't say a lot, because I think a lot of people have just kind of done their own in that mad dash of trying to get things done.
Yeah.
A lot of just get a desk or a dining table or whatever it might be. But moving forward, now that people are kind of making that decision as to whether they're going to work from home or not, I think moving forward, we'll see a big shift in, trying to make that space more pretty.
The kids and dogs can't get in on the Zoom
that's
chat.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I should probably work on mine in that case.
Shouldn't we all?
Yes, it's true.
So, okay. Now you mentioned something there. You're in mainly new construction now.
Mainly, yeah. I mean, I certainly do all kinds. I have still some renovations on the go, and I still do a lot of floor plans. But yes, I would say predominantly in new builds.
When you talk floor plans, how do you help with the floor plan of a home?
So basically, I would meet with the person, and then we chat about how they see that space being used. So what is the functionality that they want to see in the space? Take measurements. Go back to the drawing board, literally, and kind of map out where their sofa should go, where chairs should go, the scale of things, and then take it back and kind of discuss it. Like, how does this flow feel for you? Do you see like how this makes a path here, and does that work for you and your family, or you and your partner, or whatever it may be, or sometimes just for them.
Yep.
And so it's literally showing them on paper how the space can be used, and then from there some people will just be like, thank you very much, that's great, I got a floor plan, I can do the rest. Then some people will say, oh great, now that we have a floor plan, can you help me find the couch, can you help me find the chair? And then we kind of take it one step further. So as I said, there's all kinds of levels to each.
Yeah, because some people will give you the keys and some people won't.
That's right.
So when you're outsourcing the furniture,
yes,
right? So when someone says, hey, like, I love this floor plan idea, I love whatever you've given me, can you create this now? Mm-hmm. Where are you going for the furniture? And are they involved in the process, or are they giving you enough keys to be like, just make it magical. Like that. What was that car we talked about?
I wish they say that. Make it magical.
That chic feeling.
That grandma chic. Yeah.
Make it, I want the grandma chic.
I have not yet heard that phrase come out of a client's mouth. I want grandma chic, but without knowing it, they may get it. No, just kidding. So as far as sourcing, again, comes down to the client.
Yep.
In a few respects. One is some clients aren't comfortable with making purchases that, for example, a sofa, if they can't sit on it.
Yep.
So in which case, then, you look for something local here, which is great. I mean, obviously shopping local is the best. And it also depends on price point, what you're going after. So
dynamics, it's complicated.
Yeah.
Because do you go shopping with them?
So I typically don't, but not for any particular reason. I am certainly open to that.
It's hard during COVID.
Well, it's exactly it. And a lot of the time, because people's schedules are so hectic, it's hard to find that time to go shopping together. And I work with a lot of people who have families. So, once kids are thrown into the mix,
yes,
all hell breaks loose.
All carnage.
Yeah. So
toys out of the pram,
that's right.
Grandma chic is out the window.
It's not grandma chic. We've got to work with kid chic. But so typically what I do is in a normal setting, I actually have like what would be called a mood board, and it has like all the pieces on it.
Yep.
And then with that, you get a document that has the links to all of the furniture options.
Okay.
So that you can look at them online, and if they're local, then you can go and you can
try them
on your
out
own time. So I call it the shopping list.
Yeah.
And then once they go through that, we kind of discuss the yays and the nays, and then we kind of go from there. And so it seems it's a good smooth process.
Yeah.
But it is in fact that it's always a process, and I think that's what people miss. People are so used to the HGTVs of the world.
HGTV might be the bane of my existence.
I think it's the bane of anyone's existence who is in the HGTV real world. There's not that quick turnaround. That's where they do have to give you the keys and say
get in there and trying to make it the space yourself.
Right.
Do you find these are just questions for my own sake because I'm curious. Do you find people like new buyers? So they've just bought a house, they're not moved in yet. Are you getting a lot of your clients those? Are you getting in before they go in to kind of revamp the space?
So it's a mix for sure. With the new builds, currently a lot of them are coming from out of town.
Yep.
As I'm sure you are aware. And so a lot of them are coming without anything. They have either moved, especially if they're coming from Ontario, they lived in smaller apartments or condos and are building bigger homes here because they can
afford it. Yep.
And so so I'm getting in on that entry point where we're building, and it's a great point to get in on, because then you're literally can build around, we know we're going to have this, we can build a table this big because we have the space this big, or we can adjust this space. So getting in that way is really good. And a lot of them do. But on the flip side, there's still a lot of people who just, they're in their space already. It doesn't work for them, or their stuff's old.
Yep.
Dated.
Sorry,
dated. Vintage, we know, is awesome. Hence
Vintage.
grandma chic.
Yeah, vintage and dated.
Yes, two very different things. I do apologize.
So when it comes to, so the new construction people where you're designing the whole new space for them, are you guys getting them furniture as well, including the purchase, or is that just something you're doing on the side?
So that's separate. So I work separately from the builder.
Okay.
Yep. So basically I work with the builder on the actual build side of things.
Yeah.
And the client as well. And then I diverge onto my own little path.
Yeah.
And through my business is where we do the furnishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how fun is it? It must be so much fun for you to create the space for people to move into and that they're going to live in, and to help bring their vision to life.
It is. It is really fun. It's really exciting. And I always say, I feel like people don't understand how much I have not people that I'm building with, but my family, for example, people who aren't in the industry, you don't realize how much investment you have. I have so many emotions invested into each and every build, because it is exactly that. You're building their home, and from a new build, a lot of the time you're building literally their dream home.
Yeah.
That's why they're building from the ground up. And so making every single thing perfect,
Yep.
and helping them see what's perfect for them.
Yep.
Because that, that's kind of, I always say from when I design, I'm not living in the home. It's not my home.
Yeah.
Right. So what's perfect for me isn't necessarily perfect for them, and vice versa. So we have to find a way to make sure that what is being created is functional and beautiful for their life.
Yeah, of course.
So, that it's an investment on my part emotionally. And I love the reactions and the gratitude that they have.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's really nice. Yeah.
This is something I realized when I got into real estate was when I was showing homes, people would always ask me, what do you think? And I'm always like, I can't project my preferences and I can't project my biases. Like I'm a big fan of open concept, but like a big, like still love open concept. I love sight lines. I love floor to ceiling windows.
You can't replace any of that stuff. Like,
no.
Don't get me wrong.
Do you, as an interior designer, do you find it the same thing where you find it difficult not to project your own personal biases and preferences onto someone else's space?
Oh, absolutely. Especially since, as a designer, I clearly have my own niche design that I love so much. And, sometimes it doesn't
work.
Yeah. I mean, it could work, but no, but like it absolutely is. And there are times where I don't necessarily agree with what
they're doing. Yeah.
But
it's for them, not you.
It's for them. And I'm not going to lead them down the wrong path to create an ugly home.
No, of course.
I'm going to make what they have and what the decisions that they've made, I'm going to make that work, and it's going to be beautiful, and they'll love it. Whether I would live in it, that's a whole other thing. But I mean, unless something goes completely awry, I don't know why I would be living in their home.
So not everything's grandma chic.
No, not everything's grandma chic, except maybe my house.
How did you get into this for a career?
So interestingly, I actually was a middle school teacher for several years.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And I always had an interest in interior design. I actually did independent study in high school. And then my mom's best friend was an interior designer. My uncle does interior design. And so I was always around it.
Yeah.
And always around beautiful homes and beautiful spaces. And as my sisters always say, like, we all have very different memories growing up. I always remembered the buildings that we were in, and they always remembered the time that they had in the building. And it's very true. Like, I can give you details so it's always been a passion of mine.
Yeah.
Ended up in teaching. And then when I had my children, we moved to Halifax from New Brunswick, and it was just, we were starting fresh. It was a new space. I kind of thought about going back to continuing my teaching, but kind of took the time to say, I love teaching, but my ultimate passion is interior design. And so I just kind of started my own business, and the rest is history, as they would say.
So what year was this?
That was, I only officially launched my business 2 years ago. Okay. But I have been working as interior design for about 4 years.
Okay.
My youngest daughter is 5.
Okay.
So it was when she was about a year old.
Okay. So you made the transition from middle school to starting your own career.
Yes.
In 2017-ish, 18-ish. Yeah. In the Halifax market.
Yes.
Which was a much different market.
Yes.
Back then than the one we're living in today.
Yes.
How has the market today impacted your business?
Oh, it has impacted my business and my life by being a lot busier, which is obviously awesome. What entrepreneur doesn't love being busy?
There's give and take.
Okay, I was erring on the side of positivity here, but yes, there is give and take for sure. It has, there's been a big impact because COVID has done
wonders.
Yeah.
Erring on the side of optimism, right?
Exactly,
that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, the silver lining, we're going with that. So, so people have been in their homes and seeing that they, maybe we could change things up and switch things around. And so they've been living in the space and now know that they want to change it around a bit, or maybe they're just tired of it. I don't know, but it has definitely increased demand.
Of course.
Yeah.
Have you seen people, or have you had clients getting interior design in preparation to sell?
At one point, yes. I don't feel it is that necessary at the moment.
No.
You don't really need to make that pretty to successfully sell right now. I mean, yes.
Not successfully sell, but if you're trying to get,
top dollar, absolutely.
Yeah.
You want top dollar, get someone in there and get it staged, get it beautiful, clean, and definitely an investment, and a good one at that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now I want to bring it back to the business, because I'm actually intrigued. I'm actually really interested in this because I love business.
Okay.
So 2017, 2018, you start your business.
Yeah.
Were you just doing family and friends?
Yes.
Okay.
More or less.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's actually probably yes. So I started out, I would say my very first big project was actually my sister's home. She moved here from Calgary and bought an older home, a dated home.
Vintage.
Dated. We'll go with dated. And so she moved home with the idea that they would renovate. And so that was kind of my big first project. And we did a ton of renovations to her home that are ongoing. And still just bits and pieces.
Okay.
And so just on a side note of that, I am a strong believer in slow design.
Okay.
So I believe actually, and this is where grandma chic falls in.
Love it.
Because finding pieces that are curating pieces as opposed to immediate, go out and buy, which is fine. And that's how some people function. And obviously, like, I can do that as well. But I love the idea of curating things and having pieces that mean something and special pieces. And so that goes for renovation too. If you want to do a complete overhaul, that's really good for consistency, but it's not realistic for everybody either.
No.
It's a big ticket price.
Yep.
So doing it one bit at a time is always good too. And so, we're just finished one of her 4 bathrooms.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Okay. So you brought up something there, which is renovations.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have your business? Do you work with a renovation team, or do you have an in-house team? Because if someone comes in and they're like, I want to redo everything, you're like, well, let me just get the boys together. We can go to work. Or is it outsourcing, getting in subcontractors?
Right. So typically what happens is the people who are doing the renovation, like the homeowners,
Yep.
would typically reach out to a contractor first.
Okay.
Not always. And if they don't do that first, I certainly have people that I reach out to, teams that I reach out to say, I've got this great client, what's your timeline like? And then we kind of work together.
Okay.
But a lot of the time they'll already come with a contractor, and then they need a designer. And very nicely, I also have contractors who will recommend me, and that's kind of how they get to me as well. So going back to the plug.
It's business. It's business relationships, though,
exactly.
right? Like
absolutely.
It's like I have my staging team, I have my home inspecting team, I have my team that I trust,
right?
And it's vice versa. They support you, support them, because you're helping each other grow.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's This is just my own sake. What's the largest renovation you've done on a design, like you've taken on?
Largest renovation?
Yeah, like renovation design in a home. What's the largest scale you've tackled so far in your career? And this is just my own curiosity's sake.
Yeah, no, that's honestly, as far as like a large scale renovation, I haven't done a huge one overhaul.
Okay.
I mean, my sister would probably be the closest, but that wasn't like a complete teardown. I mean, I've done homes where they've been like one level living, and we've done the whole first floor, torn it all out and put it all back in prettier.
Amazing.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be considered the largest.
Yeah.
Which would, converting an entire floor.
I'm glad I stumped you.
You did. You totally stumped. Didn't see that coming. That was good. But I would say that.
Okay. Because when you're doing a large scale renovation, those things take time, right? Which is why you're like suggesting to people not to do everything at once.
Yeah.
It takes time to get everything done and lined up correctly, because renovations and custom materials right now are fun.
Oh, fun. That is a very nice way of putting it. Yes, absolutely. I have some clients that have like enough lumber for half of a deck and then they're going to do the rest later. Like you got to roll with the punches and honestly, I'm a big advocate with my clients of saying, to be realistic, you don't want to do anything that's outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
As much as, as pretty as that light is, or as, beautiful as that home, you don't want to be outside your comfort zone.
Yep.
You want to make sure you're putting in a good investment. But so it kind of goes back to that slow design again.
Yeah. We're slowly building it up to be what you maybe.
Who wants to be in a beautiful space if you're severely in debt and not able to sustain it? Right?
I was thinking more practical terms and who wants to be living in a renovation space for
that too.
You know what I mean? Like a construction site. And like if you have kids and a dog, like, or like family and you're like, just hold on kids, we can't go upstairs till, 2022 because they're taking out the master's getting an ensuite with a large walk-in closet. You guys are getting double vanities and
it all seems great until it happens. But yes, that's a very true point. Living in a renovation isn't for the faint of heart.
It has its fun.
It does.
Struggles.
Yeah. You know what? Best time for a kitchen renovation is the summertime because then you can barbecue.
Oh,
easy barbecue.
See, there
time.
you go.
So yeah.
What's your favorite? Now this is biased. We're talking about your biases. What's your favorite space to design? Like, what gets you the most excited? Where you're like, oh, I can't wait to do this.
I love doing kitchens.
Yeah.
And that is probably like a giant cliche because like who doesn't love doing kitchens? But as a maritimer, we know how much time we spend in the kitchen.
Yep.
It really is, again, a cliche, the heart of the home.
Yeah.
But it also can be, I feel like at one point kitchens were very utilitarian. They served a purpose. They had the sink, they had the stove, and you had your storage area.
And then you had your separate dining room where you ate, and you had your separate living room where you entertained.
Right.
Yeah.
Although dining rooms are going to make a comeback too.
I feel like they are.
Saying.
I already feel like they are.
Yeah. See? It's a separate room. I'm not crazy.
I don't know if it's about I don't know if it's about a separate room, but I'm seeing most of my clients be like, okay, well, this is where I want we have to have a space for the dining room table because most people envision Christmas or holidays with family,
right,
or like birthdays or celebratory events where they can have a large table that people can eat in at, not necessarily sitting at the kitchen island.
Right. Yes. Although kitchen islands can be beautiful.
Kitchen islands are beautiful.
They are. But that's what I mean. So I feel like we've come a long way in the kitchen where it can be beautiful. Like I always tell people, they're like, oh, well, for the poles and the knobs and stuff on the cabinets, like whatever. I'm like, no, those are the jewels. Those are the jewels of the room. Like jewels doesn't mean it has to be fancy, but there are so many options now that you can make these spaces just as beautiful as, your living area or your dining area, whatever it is. So I love that side of it.
Okay. Yeah. Cause the kitchen is in Maritimers. Like
Yeah. I think there's a little that East Coast in me really
there
gets
is that East Coast
kitchen
bias of like our lobster boils or our kitchen parties or like
just to sound incredibly like stereotypical.
I mean, they're stereotypes for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so kitchens are your heart and soul. What other parts of the home do you enjoy doing?
So is it weird that the other side is I like doing bathrooms, which again are weird.
Cliche.
But if I'm going to go away from the cliche side, I love doing kids' bedrooms.
Oh, really?
I do. I find so a mutual friend of ours that we have, a build that we're doing, he really dislikes this color that's in the room. And he vocalized this to me. And it's fine.
You can name him if I didn't.
Dom.
I know he listens.
Oh, hey, Dom. But the whole thing is to me is that I worked with the kid. She's 5.
Okay.
And I worked with her to find out her favorite color. And then we kind of went through the process. She obviously picked like this absurdly crazy color that shouldn't, that is not sleep worthy.
What color?
It's a teal. It's a teal. But she picked like, neon teal if that's a thing.
Yeah.
So I, reined it in a bit, brought it down a few notches. But ultimately, she loves her room.
Oh, good.
Her parents gave the okay. And with all the finishes once they're in there, because it's a new build, so
Yep.
it's, it's going to be right now it's plywood floors and it's hard to see the whole picture, but we'll get there. But for me, it's all about the joy that she's going to get from that space every time she's in there.
And that's everything for you, I imagine, is bringing the design together.
Yeah,
because right now you see it as plywood's on the floor, it's not a finished space, but when you get the floor finished, the walls painted, because with a color like teal, it's
it's adventurous.
It's an aggressive color. It does. It consumes it. It will be the first thing you draw your eyes to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So coming up with the floor plan, or not even the floor plan, the floors.
Yeah, the actual finish of the floor.
The finish of the floor, whether it's hardware to laminate, but to find the colors that complements that teal. And then you've got your light fixtures that help support it. Your doors coming. We're talking new construction, so you can really get into the finishes of the room and spaces, complementing or offsetting the colors of the room.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's all about making that final product. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to steer anyone in the direction that they're going to be like, oh, this is really ugly. She guided me in the wrong direction. It's in the end, I will. We guide you into a space that's yours and beautiful.
Okay.
So had she been able to pick the original color that she wanted, I wouldn't be so confident that it was going to turn out okay.
Yeah.
But, with her input and then my expertise, then I made a face. You can't see me, but I made a face when I said that. I can see that it will come together.
Yeah.
And that's where having someone, such as myself, a designer of sorts, is beneficial, because it's not everyone's forte. And if it were, I wouldn't have a job.
Here's a question, and this is just purely for selfish purposes here. When you watch HGTV, the bane of our existence, they always have the presentation after. So when you're finished building the space, do you get to be there with them when they see it for the first time, or?
No, not for the first time.
Okay.
And honestly, they're along for the ride the whole process. Yeah. So they own the property. They're in, they're out. They honestly, they'll see a lot of things before I do.
Okay.
I'll get photos of oh, they painted already. And you get the photo and you're like, oh, cool. Hope you like it. Looks good.
Step one done.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as that final reveal, it's not quite HGTV level. And just so that I don't get a little backlash, I do watch HGTV. Don't get me wrong.
We all do.
Yeah, it's good. It has its place. It just needs to be more realistic about timelines. That's all.
Yeah.
They got to put a little clause in there. In real life, IRL.
That's what I was curious about, because sometimes when you do interior design, you get to see the before and after. Or maybe that's not real.
Yeah. Well, no, there is a before and after, even if the before is just, dirt on the ground. But there is a before and after. So you do get to see it. And the best way to appreciate it is through photos.
Yeah, of course.
So you may not have that moment like you see on HGTV where they open the door and they're like, oh, this is my new home. I can't even believe it. It's more they've been through the process. And honestly, I'm not even really there for the very end of it, because it's usually the contractor doing that last sweep and that last vacuum of all the dust.
Yeah.
And then, a little while later, I roll in and we do a staging, and then they see the photos. And when they see the photos, that's kind of their moment.
Yeah, of course. It's for them.
Yeah. They can see, they're like, wow, we really did transform this space
into something incredible, which is something that was for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their appreciation for living in it is always the best feeling when they look at it and they're like, oh, I just really love, when you hear someone say oh, I just really love my space, there's no better feeling. It's so great.
Same thing with giving someone the keys to a house and calling them and being like, how's the house? And they're like, oh, I love it. Yeah. On in verse 2, I hate a new house. Can I move yet?
You're like, okay, we'll see ya.
Have we made $10,000 because of this market? Can I sell?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I think you need to make more than 10,000. I think
in this market.
In this market. Yeah.
When it comes to so you talked about your love of kitchens.
Yes.
Now I don't want to get away from the clients and more into your personal taste.
Okay.
So what is your ideal dream kitchen?
Ooh, my ideal dream kitchen. Okay, so This is
Grandma
where
chic.
I wouldn't call it grandma chic. It would be though rooted in the same place that grandma chic originated, which would be England. So, okay, two things. I kind of seem like I'm.
This is your kitchen. You can do whatever you want.
No, but here's the thing. Like, that's a huge question. That's like saying to you, like, if you could buy any house, what house would you buy? You probably
McCabe
have
Lake, QE2 Dream Home. It's actually the background right there on my screensaver.
Okay, fair enough. You've thought about
I've
this
got
more.
the house I'm buying. I just
I can
haven't.
see it.
I just haven't bought it yet.
Okay. Well,
They don't know I'm coming.
You should have won it.
I did enter.
Darn. Next time.
Next time.
So I actually, two things. I love a good classic white kitchen.
Okay.
There's something, I don't know, maybe it's because I grew up in a home with a white kitchen. My parents' home was very classic. And I loved that. So there's something, nostalgic, something very warm and embracing about it. And just clean. It's just a nice, clean, fresh space.
When it's clean.
When it's clean, yes, yeah. Ooh. Maybe I don't want a white kitchen.
White kitchens look great until you're cooking.
True. Okay, let's scratch that. But on the flip side of that, I actually really love a really deep. This is what I'm saying. Two opposites here. I love a really rich toned kitchen, like a nice hue of black or a nice rich blue in the cabinetry. And not like a pop of it here and there.
Yeah.
Like I want it everywhere.
Okay, so like a full green cabinet, maybe a forest green cabinet,
Yeah,
island,
exactly.
white countertop.
Yes.
Gold.
Well, no. Well, I'm not
Okay.
big on the white countertop. It would be, I love wood. I love a butcher block or like a rustic kind of feel.
Oh, really?
Rustic's probably the wrong word, but yeah, something I love warmth.
Okay.
That's why I love those colors. And I often refer to it as like English country.
Yep.
Which I don't know. Some people would be like, ooh, sounds terrible.
I asked you for your taste, not everyone else's.
That's true. But I also have to get business from this. They'll be like, ooh, no English country. We don't want that girl.
The interior designer, they design their kitchen. We already talked about how you create their space for them.
Okay, good. And I have a white kitchen currently. I put it in too. I painted it white. Like it. I do love a good white kitchen, but I have black countertops. So
you have black countertops.
I do.
Oh, I love the contrast.
Yeah, I couldn't do the full white. Not yet. Like I wasn't there.
So is it like white cabinet, white backsplash, black countertops?
You got it. You nailed it on the head, which means it's really not original. But yes. And black handles, just in case you were wondering.
Just in case.
Just in case you were, you couldn't already see that.
Do you want a large island, like a sit-in island with a waterfall or?
So actually, it's kind of crazy. I have like this island in my head that I have fully designed that I'm not sure will ever come to fruition for me. So I keep trying to sell it on to clients, but it's a little adventurous. So they don't, I've not yet met my match for this, but it's marble or granite, actually. Sort of real stone.
Marble's hard because it stains so easily.
It does. But you know what?
Okay.
I'm one of those crazies.
Okay.
I love the patina.
Okay.
I don't know.
Listen, I get it. You get girls like pretty things.
Well, no, it's not even. It's not I prefer it having stories and history and like, yeah, it sucks to have a red wine stain.
Yeah.
That's not my ideal. But you know what? That red wine stain probably happened at a fun party.
I'm hoping, not just your baby knocking it over.
Yeah, that's the case. I'm trying to get that stain out immediately. No, but I love a natural stone.
Yeah.
There's something about natural stone that's just so warm and so beautiful. And it's more like a piece of art, to be honest. And so large island, so stone on one end, and then, and lots of cabinetry. And then on the other end, I want it open. So it's almost like a table at the end and have, it could be reversed actually, the surface. I haven't really thought that far. I'm not totally crazy, but I want the wood on the other end. So it's actually two different surfaces. but on one piece. And actually, you know, come to think of it, I think I want that reversed. I'm going to put the wood on the cabinetry side and the stone on the table side. There you go. Just made a decision. But, you know, to me, that would be a big, functional, beautiful island. Has character, and then with the stone has story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it sit-in? It must be.
Is it what? Sorry?
Sit-in island.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
How many people?
Oh, let's go for, I have a big family. So, you know, minimum 6.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a big one.
You need square footage.
Yeah. Hence why I don't know if it's going to ever come to fruition.
It will. You'll find someone.
Maybe.
Or you'll make it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe.
the look I just got. So it's your dream kitchen, but you're giving me questions like, should I make it?
No, it's not that. It's just, we'll make it. Just maybe not for a while. Yeah. It's okay.
When it comes
slow
to
design, remember?
Yeah. Now I'm moving into your personal taste.
Okay.
Okay. So what's your favorite type of style for a home? Like Victorian or like an open concept, or like what is your favorite or like a classic? Like what's your favorite style for a home right now? Because obviously your taste will change as ours always do. But right now, what gets your heart melting? And for like a design of a home.
Okay, so is it a bad answer to say I don't have one?
No.
Because honestly, what it all comes
You
down
appreciate
to,
all homes and all their shapes and all their sizes?
Okay, no. I mean, I appreciate that they are someone's home, but I appreciate good design.
Okay.
So like it can come in any form.
Yep.
I would say I would definitely gravitate more toward a classic home, like a craftsman style, or something of that nature, more so than a very modern home.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I can fully appreciate good design in a modern home.
Yep.
I wouldn't choose to live in one. I'm just not a sharp corner kind of person. That sounds really weird.
Such a great way to describe it. Such a great way to describe a modern home. Just a bunch of sharp angles coming together to create a box.
Okay. Okay, I'm not doing the best job telling, but yes, I do appreciate classic, I guess, more if I were to choose.
Like a Victorian. No?
Maybe too classic.
Okay.
I would definitely do Victorian. Don't get me wrong. But if I were to pick somewhere, like a location where I walk around and I am just like jaw dropped by pretty much every home there, it's Nantucket. That East Coast, very
Nantucket.
Yeah.
Fall River.
Pardon?
Isn't that Fall River? Is it?
Oh, okay. So Nantucket, no, actually there is a subdivision in Nantucket.
I was going to say there is a subdivision named Nantucket in Fall River.
Well, no, not in Fall River.
No?
It's in Dartmouth.
See, now you're showing my real estate side.
Yeah.
I should know this.
I'm pretty sure it's in Dartmouth.
It probably
like
is.
Cole Harbor, Dartmouth area. Because I drove by it yesterday. Didn't know it existed until yesterday. So how coincidental is that?
I think you're right.
So sorry, let's just back up here a little bit. Nantucket, the island off the coast of Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, not to get. I mean, Nantucket. I'm sure the subdivision is beautiful. Not sure it's jaw dropping for me necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the
island
Cape Cod kind of vibe.
Oh, okay.
That kind of style. The shingles, the weathered shingles, the stories, the history, all that.
Melt your heart.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much.
The look you
actually, if you go
me.
on my Instagram right now, my story has like 3 different Nantucket homes posted.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's just my thing.
So when it comes to interior design, I'm going to bring it back now to the consumers.
Yes.
So if someone's trying to redesign their space and they want to know what to do, what are some of your favorite tips or little tricks for them to be able to apply some things at home that can make a simple change?
Oh, that's really good. So my number 1 is always to shop your home. So before you look confused.
I'm generally like, are we selling it? Like, do I get a listing?
Sorry, no. We're doing different home shopping here. Shop your home. I always like to say to people, before you go out and you invest or you purchase something else you're going to bring into your home. Yeah. Go around your house. And there are things in your home that if you took, say, even a plant, something as simple as, a big plant in your bedroom, and you brought it into your living space, it can make a huge impact. different. It can make a change. It can give you just enough refresh that you're like, you know what? I actually don't need to replace an entire couch. I really just needed something else in here to get that space, that feel. Same as throw cushions or a blanket or even chairs. Like some people have a basement, they have a sitting room and they have a living room. Well, take those pieces of furniture, swap them around, make them feel new in a different space.
Okay.
So that is my first go-to.
Okay.
Doesn't really do much for me because you don't really need my help for that. So it's not a very good plug, but I'm all about practicality as well.
Of course.
So that is my number one go-to. After that would be anything from, again, not helping myself. Don't do any huge major changes unless you're really confident in them. Buy some no throw cushions. Go to, I don't know. I'm just going to say Winners for lack of a better thing. I'm sorry.
Winners is, listen, who doesn't go to Winners?
I know, really. Who doesn't? But if you can find a local source that you like better, please go there. But, and go buy a really pretty throw cushion. Go buy a really pretty, carpet or something that can add layers to your space without having to revamp everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it just shop your house, rearrange some furniture, see what happens, and then maybe add some pieces to, I can't think of the word, to add to the space you've already created.
Just to just freshen it up, really, is what it comes down to.
Okay.
And you know what? Painting, sorry painters, but painting's not like that hard. So if you've got like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of big jobs that I've only painted one room in my house. So I'm not but a lot of people can do the painting. So, if you and your friends want to get together and paint a room in your house and just freshen it up that way,
yeah,
do it. It's
painting is like, it's the most undervalued thing for a home transformation.
100%.
Pick a color and just, hopefully not thing like a teal.
Let
the children have their teal. Adults, come on.
The teal's not even the most bold in that one. So there you go.
Oh, jeez. So, okay. Now this is for a little more, my next question is kind of funny. We're going to flip it. Okay. What is the most quirky, for a good word, because I could use others. What's the most quirky thing you've seen in a home that a client wanted you to redesign, or maybe?
Oh, so before. So not a requested quirk.
I'm talking like we can do requesting quirks after,
I don't have that many.
But I'm talking
quirks.
Like you had to go into a space to help them redesign it, and you thought, wow, and not like the good wow.
Oh man.
Because I'm in a lot of homes as a realtor.
I was gonna say, I feel like as a realtor, you've seen a lot more.
I've seen some things.
Like, what is happening? I would say, okay, so actually, I didn't get to redesign the space, but I was actually devastated that I didn't, because it would have been so cool. But I was working on a home office. Okay. Actually, pre-pandemic, oddly.
Wow. They had those before pandemic?
Those. Yeah, it wasn't invented with COVID. Strange. It was just like this little nook in the bottom of their basement. And I can't remember how it came about, but I asked for something and he's like, yeah, no problem. I'll just grab it for you. And he walked toward a wall and I was like, whoa, there's nothing there. Is this person crazy? And it was a false wall. And there's this whole area behind there that was like, as a kid, you have like those spaces where you're like, magic land.
Magic land.
Something magical is happening back there. I don't know what it is, but something. And I was like trying to peer in. And anyway, I kind of like dropped. I was like, is there anything back there that we could use? Or like, can we work our way into that space? He was like, no, just this space. And I was like, darn. So yeah, I mean, it was my first time seeing like an actual like false wall, like had no idea that it existed as a door. And it was super cool.
Oh, that is really cool.
It was very cool.
It's funny because like that's like the coolest thing. I meant by quirky like the worst.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be blunt. I meant like what's the worst thing?
I tried to be nice about it.
You've walked into a home and you're like, oh my God.
Thank God I'm here. You know what? I haven't had any like gasping moments.
What?
I know. It's kind of disappointing when you think of it.
Like, you should be the one that has the stories. I got stories, but like, you should be the one to be like, they had this.
Listen, your story people, those homes just need to invite me over. That's what has to happen here. We got to transform those stories into aha moments. I haven't had any. I've had some where homeowners have thought like, this is devastatingly ugly.
Like what?
Like, and I'm sorry.
I want the dirt.
I'm sorry if you listen to this, clients. It really isn't that bad, or wasn't, because it's gone now. But like, there was this room, and back in the day, I'm sure it was like a super, super cool, but it was like giant arches, like basically it looked like a old smoky pub in the basement of this house. So that sounds like it could be cool.
No.
But it totally wasn't.
I mean,
it was
smoky
not.
alone just sounds.
Yeah. So yeah, if I just said pub, that's
if you had
pretty
like
cool, actually.
if you had like an old English pub in your basement, which
Yeah.
I've seen,
Yeah.
they're really cool.
Very cool.
But like
especially when you mix in that grandma chic, like in that kitchen.
I'm never gonna
something.
I'm never gonna forget the words grandma chic for that. I'm gonna drop that so many times.
Be careful, you might get a lot of weird looks. I know I do.
So smoky pub basement.
Yeah, it was like really dark, a lot of mirrors, but like not clear mirrors.
Mirrors.
Smoky mirrors. Yeah, a sink in a closet, like just things that were not. It was not working.
Not grandma chic.
The overall feel, a lot of paneling. Yeah, the overall feel wasn't great.
So did you get to revitalize
We
it?
blasted that thing out. We tore that shit down.
What did you guys put in?
Nice crisp white basement.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah. It was very open and airy with some good storage for toys. They had kids, like not functional for young kids. Yeah. So we still used the plumbing. We put in a sink with glasses, a nice white sink, no mirrors. We left the mirrors out. And, just added like a little desk nook and stuff like that. So made it much more functional, a lot brighter, a lot more inviting, and somewhere that they wanted to spend time instead of what it was being used at, which was a huge toss space or storage room.
Yeah.
And we all have those rooms,
Oh, mine's upstairs, I can show you. It's actually just like, it is a cave of shit.
Yeah. My office at our old house before I had kids when I was teaching, my husband always jokes and says it wasn't an office. It was a room with a desk and then all your teaching stuff.
Yeah.
just loose.
Everyone has that in their house.
And well, yeah, they do, but you got to organize. You can get that organized. You can make it functional.
It's still a disaster.
True.
And I'm not tackling it. My fiance can do it because she created it.
Oh,
and I entirely blame her because she threw all the crap in there and I'm just not having it.
Well, you know what? When we moved, my husband said, this is not going to be duplicated. And it wasn't, and nor would I ever do that because I have no idea how I sustained a room like that. But anyway, that's not very good publicity for me. So you know what? I learned from it, and now I design with that in mind to make sure people have spots for everything. Storage is key.
Storage is the most key. Knowing where your stuff goes.
Key.
We're actually house sitting right now.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
we're at a friend's house and we're house sitting.
Nice.
And
great gig.
That's so much better than where I'm at. We live in the apartment we're in now that you're in for the podcast, but we're actually in Dartmouth for the month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and their house is just better. It's just better.
On the good, better, best. It's on the best.
It's much better.
Yeah.
But they have a ton of storage, and the problem is you don't realize that we moved in Friday. I brought luggage and moved in because I'm there for a month. I don't want to be running back and forth to my apartment. The bridge toll sucks. I'm not doing it.
It does.
So
and going around is just not an option.
No, I'm not driving through. No, stop. So I was in there yesterday I was planning on cooking a really big meal and they're fancy because our kitchen's closed and it's crap. There's this open concept with sightlines. I was like, I'm going to cook a nice
and you had talked
meal.
about that's your thing.
At
open
this
concept,
at this meal, I'm going to have fun. And I had no idea where anything went. So I'm trying to unload the dishwasher. I'm trying to find things. I'm literally trying to FaceTime them and text them being like, where's the strainer? Where's the ladle? And I'm like, storage because
Yeah.
like you need to know where things are.
Absolutely.
And I felt so out of place, but it's so pretty. It's so much better.
It's all it really boils down to. It's so pretty.
I'm not that vain, I swear.
No, listen, it's okay. It's all right to appreciate.
I'm talking to an interior
space.
designer, of
Okay. Space appreciation is a very good quality in a human.
Right?
I mean, there are lots of better ones, but it is.
So if anyone is thinking about doing any renovations or trying to change up the space and they want to get in touch, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way would be my Instagram.
Instagram?
It would.
Just slide in the DMs?
Just, yep. Just, just fly into my DMs and, yeah.
And what's the handle again?
Virginia and Interiors. You know, I'm just gonna double check
as
if
she
there's
reaches for her cell phone to make sure she's not telling lies.
Yeah, oops. Well, I'm not telling lies. I mean, I'm not one for lies, but I may be mistaken. It's very different. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. So it turns out my hand. Oh, no. Virginia.and.interiors.
Okay.
Okay, so the dots. It's very important. I mean, there could be another Virginia and Interiors out there with no dots, and then I mean,
You're sending everyone.
Where are you?
You're sending so many
That's right,
people to
you're doing
different
a plug
places.
for the wrong person.
Just send them a DM.
You're welcome.
Virginia, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's so great. It's so fun.
And you have a good day. And I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to get in touch with Virginia, you can reach her at 902-220-5383 or virginiawarddesign@gmail.com. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, you can reach me at 902-220-7357 or jason.paul@kadabia.com. Thanks again. Bye.